So I think there's a couple of other planning points worth mentioning, and there's certainly lots more than what we're talking about today. But again, these are things I think we'd like to highlight for people just to spur them to ask questions. One of them is perhaps converting an IRA to a Roth IRA this year.
Yeah, if you were thinking about doing that anyway, now is the right time to really, put your head through it and see if it makes sense while the rates are lower. Like we talk about in general, we're looking to potentially accelerate income, defer deductions. This is something that we can do that if we pay tax on the lower rates today, then as we know with a Roth IRA conversion, as you pull the money out, down the road, it won't be subject to income taxes. And it also doesn't go into this computation of what's investment income. So it's, it has like a double benefit kind of thing. It'll help you by taking that money out. It won't impose on you in a negative way to get towards this $250,000 threshold.
Now let's talk a little bit about just portfolio balancing. People are sitting there with a lot of dividend-paying stocks. Sounds like maybe between now and the end of the year they have to think about maybe adjusting their portfolios to account for some of these changes that are going to come into play, assuming they come into play. And how do muni bonds get affected by all this?
Yeah, that's also a very good question. The rates on dividends, if the Bush tax cuts expire and the 3.8% kicks in 2013, dividends would be taxed then up to 43.4%. It's almost triple the rate that we have now of 15%. So that has a huge impact into people's thinking.
Not including state and local taxes.
Not even counting state and local taxes or the effects of phase-outs of deductions and all kinds of other things. So we have a different situation. Now, we never want taxes to drive the process here. We always want to look at things from an economic perspective. But when the tax rate almost triples, it's very important to take a look at it and see how that impacts your net after-tax returns on your investments. Municipal bond interest is not subject to tax, nor like with the Roth IRA conversion, nor does the income kick into this threshold of what is subject to the tax in the first place. So it wouldn't be good if we didn't take a look at this, because you really need to take a look at how this bond interest could impact your portfolio and your overall rate of return on investments. Very important to take a look at before the end of the year.
So Scott, to sum up, we're in a period of volatility with respect to rates and how some of these things are going to be treated. It's a period of uncertainty because things may happen between now and the end of the year that alter some of that calculus. So I think the key word or words to think about between now and the end of the year are sort of flexibility and optionality in what you're doing to put yourself in the best position to take advantage of what is or isn't available, and to start the analysis now.
That's absolutely correct. We must take a look at this stuff now because you don't want to be in a position to act at the last minute. And some of this stuff, like taking a look at the rules for real estate professionals and passive versus materially participating, require a tremendous amount of analysis. And best time to start is now, and not wait to the end of the year or after we know what the law might be.
Scott, thanks for being on the program today.
Thank you, Maury. You're very welcome.